Friends, Brickey here, doing another Disneyland Forward series video, going a little bit more in depth into a topic that we spoke about on a couple of the last videos, but I'm currently walking on the quiet, nice trail exiting Disney's Grand California Hotel because we're gonna take a walk up Disneyland Drive, and I'm gonna point out to you all the reasons why Disneyland is not buying Disneyland Drive and turning it into theme park. This I can guarantee you. And I will do my best to keep road noise down, but it is a very, very loud road. So hopefully you can hear everything that I say nice and crystal clear. But right out of the gate, let me give you two great reasons why Disneyland Drive can never go away. Reason number one, the Grand California Hotel. If you were to remove this street, Grand California Hotel would be landlocked. There'd be absolutely no way to get to the hotel. And while we're at it, Pixar Place Hotel. Pixar Place Hotel would as well be landlocked. So already, starting from the south, working up to the north, there's reason number one. This is reason number two. Two stops indicating why this street has to say Disneyland Drive and not become annexed into theme park, because they would landlock the hotels. And do not give me some sort of weird idea of taking a monorail into these hotels. When you stay at a hotel, you need to have an easy way to drive your car up and to get dropped off. I know some of you will come up with some sort of bizarre creative workaround, and I do respect your creativity, but creativity works best when it's tethered to reality. And there's no realistic way to make these two hotels accessible unless right after the Grand California Hotel is where Disney dead ends the street. But let's shoot that one apart too. So we're beginning our journey going down Disneyland Drive. We're on the Grand Californian side, so that's the east side, and we are going from south to north, going up to Mickey and Friends parking garage. Already two reasons down, both of these hotels landlocked. But if you say, Brickey, what if we cap it off right here? And what if Disneyland takes all the rest of this and makes it part of the resort? Oh, there's a major reason why, and I'll show that to you as soon as we get there. So we do have the monorail track that's already in this area, but keep in mind, if you're not super familiar with Disneyland versus Walt Disney World, here, the monorail is a Disneyland attraction. You have to have a reservation and a ticket to Disneyland to ride the monorail. Whereas out on the East Coast of Walt Disney World, anybody can ride the monorail. It's not going inside of any parks. It's a true transportation system, where here, it's actually a Disneyland attraction. Where I'm walking right now, the sidewalk is going down. We're on a grade. We're gonna make a clearance of 14.5 feet. That is because we were walking underneath downtown Disney. So in the last Disneyland Forward series video, I talked to you about how Disney would be able to create land bridges that would take you from Disneyland to more Disneyland, from DCA to more DCA. And I talked about how it would be just like the one that we have for downtown Disney, where when you walk across this bridge, you have no idea you're going across a bridge. You don't hear the cars, you don't see the cars, it's completely level and flat. It's a pretty great magic trick. And I asked you on last week's episode, do you know where it starts and stops? It starts at the Jazz Kitchen and it ends right over at the edge of the Lego store. That area right there, you're on top of a bridge. Hardly most people know that. And by most people don't know that, I don't mean it as it's like, that's a secret fun fact I just broke. But what I'm saying is, most times when somebody crosses that bridge for the first time, they have no idea they are on a bridge. Now on the other side, we can see that we have the monorail station for downtown Disney. There's the Pin Trader shop, and I had even talked about last week about how there could be stores or restaurants on the bridge, but they do a really good job of not diminishing the experience of crossing it. Now it does appear when they redid the monorail station and painted it blue, they didn't paint the awning blue. It still is very sun-faded green. This dip that I just went down, that illustrates what they will probably need to do if they decide to bridge these parks versus tunneling these parks. Tunneling, probably way more expensive. And here is the Tortilla Joe's. Its days are numbered. Will be interesting to see how they renovate that to make it match everything else. And then over here in this little gap, you can see that Parkside Market that is coming together. That's the edge of the downtown Disney construction. And the biggest reason why you can't cap off the road back at the hotels is because I'm currently walking past the delivery access for all of downtown Disney. You can't have shops, you can't have restaurants without having a delivery station. This road through here that I'm not filming because it is also a security checkpoint is the main access for all deliveries that go into downtown Disney. Just as important as the hotels, because you have to be able to have a pipeline for supplies. The way that it works is this road right here goes beneath downtown Disney, and all of the deliveries for downtown Disney are done in a basement below it. And I mean, it is a huge cavernous space. Tour buses, semis, like lots of stuff can fit down below downtown Disney. So losing that access would lose the way to get all the supplies and goods in there. And as you may or may not have seen, because I'm filming a lot of this in between red lights, if you were to cap it off here and make the rest of the road a dead end, that's not going to work because this is a major thoroughfare for the city of Anaheim. And man, oh man, do I miss this old path. Anybody remember this old path that you could take out of Disneyland at the end of the night? You could walk to your car without walking through downtown Disney. You could just take that little trail on the inside. Oh, I miss that so much. So sure, if you decided to cap off the street after this delivery and make it a dead end, yeah, technically you do that. And everything this way would be more Disneyland. However, I just don't see the city of Anaheim going for that. This road is super important, not only to the citizens of Anaheim, but it's also important to Disneyland, allowing people to get to 2 of their 3 hotels, get around their resort, and also all of their deliveries for their shopping district. And I just saw the most important delivery of the day. The Brinks truck just rolled through. You gotta find a way to get the money in and out. And then there is another detail. If this was removed, what about the Disneyland tram and the buses that have to get guests back and forth to Pixar Pals and Mickey and Friends? This pathway inside of here is super important, getting everybody over to the Esplanade. You have to have a way to get people there. You can't make the entrance to the park in the back corner. I mean, you could, but man, would it ruin all of Walt's rules on how he wanted you to come in and consume Disneyland. That first shot, that first glance is so important. This would destroy all of that. While we're going on this Disneyland Forward stroll, don't forget, check out this playlist where I pretty much cover every little bit of the Disneyland Resort, showing you its potential, showing you its problems, and trying to give a little bit of creative problem solving along the way. Subscribe to Hey Brickey. This is something that we do a lot, becoming your premier destination for all things Disneyland expansion, all things Disneyland Forward. I'm not gonna stop if you don't stop. So thank you so much for subscribing today. And also sort of a mood point, but not too far over here is where the natural fueling station is for the trams. That's how they get those going. So yeah, it would be awesome if they bought this street and it all became part of the theme park. But what I believe is gonna happen is this space right here, that's gonna take us to the promised land, which is more Disneyland, as the end of Critter Country is right over in here. Over in here is where we will go over to the theme park. It all aligns, it's all crazy affordable, and it allows everything to keep operating the way it is. Just you and me, we get to walk over a bridge or go through a tunnel, but probably a bridge. But what I love about this series is I love reading all of the comments, seeing what your ideas, what your suggestions are, because with the Disneyland series, I'm working extremely hard to show you every little piece of the resort, how it all ties together, what things are possible, what things are problematic, and what things are probably impossible. But I hate using the term impossible because we have seen Disney do the impossible time and time again. But I think real creation has to lie somewhere in practicality. And let me tell you, friends, when you walk it this way, outside of the Disney puzzle, it is such a faster walk. Like, shocking how quick of a path this is when you're not going around all the Disney obstacles. They are really good at stretching out their space. Which now brings us over to Magic Way, which this quick little 2-block street was very, very expensive for Disneyland to try to purchase. It was also the most contentious part of the complete expansion plans. Trying to replace Disneyland Drive as compared to Magic Way would be like, what, 20 times the effort and 100 times the expense. I just don't think that's going to happen. And I think that they could easily do it without making it happen, because don't forget, everything that's backed up on Disneyland Drive is backstage. So if they were to fully expose everything, you would just have to wrap around the backstage of everything, and it wouldn't be for a good design anyways. I mean, yeah, they could use the extra space, but I think the customer experience would not be worth the extreme cost and effort. And one important note to make, if they were to completely take over the road and you didn't have the Disneyland tram going back and forth, riddle me this, Batman, how would you get to DCA? Sure, you could put an entrance right here to Disneyland, but without the tram, how would you get to the Esplanade? How would you get to DCA? So not only does Disneyland Drive become a major artery for the city of Anaheim, but it's also a major artery for the Disneyland Resort, connecting 2 out of the 3 hotels, their service entry into the shopping district, and also all of their backstage for the most popular western side of the park, as well as their own proprietary transportation system, getting guests from 15,000 parking spots to the Esplanade, where they can choose their Disneyland adventure. This road is so crucial, so important, and I love that it has the name Disneyland Drive, because it just really shows how this street embodies so much of what the resort needs to thrive 365 days out of the year. Friends, ending up where we were just at a couple of weeks ago, but building out the Disneyland Forward series to where no stone goes unturned, no piece of the property isn't explained, and in the process, creating B-roll of every square inch of the Disneyland Resort, so as things change, we can always track the progress, where it was then, where it's at now, which is kind of the vibe of the whole channel. Studying Disneyland's past to better predict Disneyland's future. Thank you so much for showing up and watching. If you'd like to see more about the Disneyland Forward series, check out this playlist where nearly every question you have will be answered. A lot of these videos will get remade as Disney gives us more information. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate your most valuable thing you own, your time, and I hope you felt like this video was worth your time. I appreciate you.